Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Chelsea Quinn Yarbro passed away at the age of 82. Chelsea Quinn Yarbro was a prolific and esteemed American author, best known for her extensive historical horror novels featuring the vampire Count Saint-Germain. Born on September 15, 1942 in Berkeley, California, Yarbro became a towering figure in horror and speculative fiction, having penned more than 80 books during a career spanning over 4 decades. Yarbro's signature creation, the Saint-Germain series, began with Hotel Transylvania, a novel of forbidden love in 1978, and grew into a richly woven saga encompassing over 20 volumes. The series skillfully blended supernatural horror with vivid historical settings across Europe, offering complex characters and nuanced storytelling that captivated readers worldwide. Beyond Saint-Germain, Yarbro authored other series, including Atta, Olivia Clemens, and Madeleine de Montalia, as well as many standalone novels across a diverse range of genres such as science fiction, westerns, mysteries, and fantasy. Her literary journey started in 1969 with The Posture of Prophecy, but her academic background and broad interests extended beyond writing. Yarbro was deeply engaged with the occult, practicing tarot and palm reading, and was also a composer and cartographer. She had a disciplined work ethic, reportedly dedicating 6 hours a day to writing and research, which contributed to her prodigious output. Throughout her career, Yarbro wrote under several pseudonyms, including Quinn Fawcett, Tristram Kith, and Vanessa Pryor, often collaborating with other authors. She received numerous accolades, including being named a World Horror Grandmaster in 2003 and receiving the Bram Stoker Lifetime Achievement Award in 2009. Her influence was felt across the horror and fantasy genres, where she was known for her meticulous research and literary craftsmanship. In her final years, Yarbro's health declined, but she remained intellectually engaged until the end. She passed away on August 31, 2025, at her home in San Francisco, surrounded by books, classical music, and visits from friends. Her legacy endures through her extensive body of work, which continues to inspire writers and enthrall readers worldwide. Leroy Jordan passed away at the age of 84. Leroy Jordan was a legendary American football linebacker who spent his entire 14-year professional career with the Dallas Cowboys of the National Football League, NFL. Born on April 27, 1941, in Excel, Alabama, Jordan was a fierce competitor and a linchpin of the Cowboys' renowned Doomsday defense. His legacy as one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history remains firmly cemented through his records, leadership, and contributions to one of America's most iconic football franchises. Jordan's football journey began at the University of Alabama, where he played under the legendary coach Paul Bear Bryant. During his tenure at Alabama from 1960 to 1962, he was a dominant force, showcasing his tackling ability and leadership. Jordan was a 2-time MVP of bowl games, including a standout performance with 31 tackles in a victory over Oklahoma during the 1963 Orange Bowl, which was attended by President John F. Kennedy. He was a unanimous All-American his senior year and won the Lineman of the Year award, playing a pivotal role in Alabama's national championship victory. The Dallas Cowboys selected Jordan as their first-round pick, 6th overall, in the 1963 NFL Draft, beginning a career marked by incredible durability and productivity. Despite being considered small for a linebacker at 6 feet 1 inch and about 215 pounds, Jordan's relentless work ethic, intelligence, and intensity allowed him to excel. He quickly became the defensive leader, known for his ability to read offenses, his aggressive tackling, and his leadership on and off the field. Jordan earned 5 Pro Bowl selections and twice made the All-Pro team. He was a key part of the Cowboys' rise to prominence, helping the team reach 5 NFC championship games, and 3 Super Bowls, including Dallas's first Super Bowl victory in 1972. His career tackles with the Cowboys still rank among the highest, holding the franchise records for career solo tackles, 743, and career combined tackles, 236. In his 1973 game against the Cincinnati Bengals, he famously intercepted 3 passes in a single quarter, a feat that remains one of the most memorable defensive performances in franchise history. Off the field, Jordan was known for his leadership, humility, and commitment to community service. After retiring in 1976, he was inducted into the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor in 1989, becoming one of the franchise's most revered figures. He was also inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1983 and the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 1980. Leroy Jordan passed away on August 30, 2025, leaving behind a legacy defined by excellence, leadership, and perseverance. He is remembered not only as a cornerstone of the Cowboys' defense, but as an inspiring figure who epitomized the spirit of American football. Kim Hughes. Passed away at the age of 71, Kim Hughes was a distinguished Australian cricketer known for his elegant batting style and his tenure as captain of the Australian national team during a challenging era. Born Kimberly John Hughes on January 26, 1954, in Margaret River, Western Australia. He emerged as one of Australia's most talented batsmen and exemplified perseverance and leadership throughout his career. Hughes's cricket journey began with promise from a young age, displaying prodigious talent in his early days playing for Western Australia. He began his state career with a bang in 1975, scoring a century on his debut, signaling the arrival of a player with a bright future. Hughes was noted for a classic orthodox batting technique blended with aggressive stroke play, winning admiration for his stylish performances. His international career, however, was marked by both personal and team struggles, coinciding with a period of transition and turmoil in Australian cricket. Hughes debuted for Australia in the late 1970s and became captain in 1979 when the team was weakened by the defection of key players to World Series cricket. Despite the instability, Hughes led Australia with dedication over 28 Test matches as captain, battling the dominant West Indies and trying to rebuild a young and inexperienced side. His leadership was often tested, with criticism from media and teammates adding to the pressures of captaincy. One of Hughes's career highlights was his performance in the prestigious 1980 centenary test at Lord's, where he scored a brilliant 117 runs in the first innings and followed it with 84 runs in the second, batting on all 5 days of the match and demonstrating remarkable skill and resilience. Additionally, his unbeaten century against the West Indies on a difficult Melbourne pitch in 1982 showcased his courage and concentration under pressure. Hughes's captaincy ended emotionally in December 1984, when overwhelmed by the intense scrutiny and challenges, he resigned with tears, leaving the cricket world a poignant moment that revealed the human side of sporting pressure. After his national career, he captained rebel tours to apartheid South Africa, a controversial chapter that added complexity to his legacy. Beyond his playing days, Hughes remained engaged with cricket, serving as a selector for Western Australia and contributing as a commentator, sharing his insights and experience with fans. He continued to be respected for his contributions to Australian cricket as a talented batsman and leader during a difficult era. Kim Hughes passed away peacefully in 2025, leaving behind a legacy characterized by skill, determination, and a deep connection to the game. His story is remembered as one of perseverance amid adversity, inspiring cricket enthusiasts and players alike. Robert Ndiaye passed away at the age of 83. Robert Ndiaye was a distinguished Senegalese wrestler and Olympian who left a lasting impact on African wrestling and sports heritage. Born on February 3, 1942, in Fadiouthe, Senegal, Ndiaye emerged as one of Senegal's most celebrated wrestling talents and a symbol of dedication, strength, and national pride in international wrestling competitions. Ndiaye specialized in the EAI, Greco-Roman wrestling style, competing in the heavyweight division at numerous prestigious championships. He made a significant mark in the African Wrestling Championships, claiming the gold medal in 1969 and the silver medal in 1971 in the 100 kg weight category. These achievements demonstrated NDI's dominance on the continent and his role in elevating Senegal's presence in wrestling. NDI represented Senegal in 2 consecutive Summer Olympic Games, competing in both the 1972 Munich Olympics and the 1976 Montreal Olympics in the Greco-Roman heavyweight category. As Senegal's flag bearer at the opening ceremonies of the 1972 Games, NDI was a source of national pride, symbolizing the country's sporting aspirations on the global stage. Though he faced some of the world's top wrestlers from wrestling powerhouses, his participation itself was a testament to his skill, perseverance, and importance to Senegalese sports. Beyond his competitive years, Robert Ndiaye was admired for his commitment to advancing wrestling in Senegal and for serving as a role model for young athletes striving to achieve international excellence. His dedication and pioneering status helped foster a culture of wrestling within Senegal, inspiring future generations to pursue the sport with passion and discipline. Robert Ndiaye passed away on August 29, 2025, leaving behind a rich legacy that blends athletic prowess with national representation and cultural significance. His contributions to wrestling and his embodiment of sportsmanship continue to inspire the Senegalese sporting community and wrestling enthusiasts across Africa and the world. Randy Boone passed away at the age of 83. Randy Boone was a beloved American actor and singer best known for his role as Randy Benton, the guitar-playing, singing ranch hand on the iconic NBC Western series, The Virginian. Born Clyde Wilson Randall Boone Jr. on January 17, 1942, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Boone's journey to stardom was marked by his deep passion for music and acting, both of which he seamlessly combined in his television appearances. Boone's early life was rooted in a love for music and exploration. He briefly attended North Carolina State College as a mathematics major, but soon dropped out to pursue a career as a traveling folk musician, hitchhiking across the United States for 18 months. His musical talents helped him barter for food and shelter, and this itinerant lifestyle eventually led him to Los Angeles, where his acting career began to take shape after he was discovered and cast for the TV series It's a Man's World, 1962-63, playing Vern Hodges, a folk singer and one of 3 friends sharing a houseboat. Boone's big break came in 1964 when he joined the Virginian during its 2nd season, immediately winning over fans with his charm, musical performances, and natural presence. The next 2 years, he appeared in 46 episodes alongside stars James Drury and Doug McClure, often performing original songs and riding his own horse, Clyde, which the show used during filming. His contributions brought an extra layer of authenticity to the Western drama, blending storytelling with song. In addition to The Virginian, Boone starred in Cimarron Strip, 1967-68, as Francis Wilde, a deputy U.S. Marshal and aspiring reporter. He also made guest appearances on popular TV shows such as The Twilight Zone, Wagon Train, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Emergency, and Highway to Heaven. His film credits include Country Boy, 1966, and he was known for his genuine, affable nature on and off the screen. Boone's acting career tapered off by the late 1980s, after which he transitioned into a quieter life, working in construction. Fans remember him not only for his acting, but also for his music, including an album called Ramblin'. Randy that captured the country folk spirit he loved. He was an avid collector of guitars and banjos and had a lifelong love for horses and dogs. Randy Boone passed away on August 28, 2025. He is remembered fondly for his warmth, talent, and the unique blend of acting and musical skills that made him a memorable figure in American television history. Alain Belmondo passed away at the age of 93. Alain Belmondo was a respected French film producer and production manager, best known for his significant contributions to French cinema during his long career behind the scenes. Born on October 24, 1931 in Neuilly-sur-Seine, France, Alain came from a family deeply involved in the arts, being the elder brother of the iconic French actor Jean-Paul Belmondo. Alain's work in the film industry was characterized by his expert management skills and his ability to oversee complex productions with a steady hand. Over the decades, he served as a production manager and producer on numerous notable French films from the 1960s through the 1990s. Among his most recognized credits are his work on The Professional, 1981, The Vultures, 1984, The Loner, 1987, The Outsider, 1983, and Chocolate, 1988. His role often involved coordinating different aspects of film production, keeping projects on schedule and budget, while ensuring creative and technical requirements were met. Though he never sought the limelight like his brother Jean-Paul, Alain's steady influence was integral to the success of many French movies. His deep understanding of the film production process and calm leadership made him a reliable figure in the industry. Alain's contributions helped elevate French cinema during a period rich in cultural output and international acclaim. Alain Belmondo's family background also situated him at the crossroads of art and culture. His father, Paul Belmondo, was a renowned sculptor, and the Belmondo name became synonymous with artistic excellence in France. Alain's career in film production complemented the family's artistic legacy, working diligently to support projects that often pushed creative boundaries. Alain Belmondo passed away on August 27, 2025 in France, marking the end of a distinguished life dedicated to the craft of filmmaking. While his name may not have been as famous as his brother's, Alain Belmondo's work behind the scenes left an indelible mark on French cinema, preserving his status as a respected and valued member of the artistic community. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell. Simon Philip Cowell was born on the 7th of October 1959 in Lambeth, South London, at a moment when Britain was trading post-war austerity for pop culture exuberance. His father, Eric Cowell, balanced the respectability of an estate agent with a behind-the-scenes role at Ami Music Publishing, while his mother, former ballet dancer Julie Brett, kept rhythm and discipline. A live-at-home record spun constantly in the living room, and dinner table chatter might veer from house prices to chart positions, soaking young Simon in equal parts pragmatism and show business lower. When Simon was still a child, the family relocated to Verdon-Ster, Hertfordshire, steps away from film studios. School mornings at Radlett Preparatory gave way to afternoons of cycling past studio gates and catching sight of costume racks or celebrity visitors' classroom order felt stifling. Yet English compositions revealed a forensic eye for character, and plot teachers logged as many detentions for cheeky commentary as commendations for imaginative essays foreshadowing a mind drawn to critique and performance. In equal measure, adolescence carried him to Haberdasher's Aces Boys' School, whose rigorous regimen collided with his growing impatience for hierarchy. He organized covert lunchtime listening parties, sneak previewing T-Rex and Bowie cassettes in echoing locker rooms each detention, hardened his belief that authority existed to be prodded. At 16, armed with a handful of O-levels and an overflowing curiosity for the mechanics of fame, he left formal education. Determined to learn from life instead, a carousel of short-lived jobs followed mail delivery at Parliament, a mismatched stint, waiting tables each revealing new angles of power and persuasion. The defining break arrived when Eric secured him a spot in Emmy's mailroom rather than treat the post trolley as an endpoint. Simon turned it into a moving classroom. He charted the internal hierarchy, noting who decided a single fate and how whispers on corridor sofas translated into radio play nights were spent mapping patterns in Billboard and UK singles chart listings, decoding public taste like a budding cryptanalyst. He briefly became a runner on Stanley Kubrick's The Shining fetched coffees under fluorescent lights, and quit after 2 weeks, realizing creative control, not obedience, was the career currency he craved. On the walk home, he sketched his first imaginary record label on scrap paper, vowing to champion fearless acts overlooked by complacent executives. By the time he turned 20, discipline from a dancer mother, strategic insight from a music executive, father proximity to film sets and mailroom immersion had fused into a single ambition to shape popular culture instead of watching at the cheeky, Boy who'd once insisted the school hymn list needed a top 40 makeover now possessed both the audacity and the insider knowledge to start rewriting the pop rulebook for real. When Simon Cowell first crossed from the A&R back rooms into television's bright glare, British pop television was still a polite Sunday evening affair. Pop Idol TV 2001 shattered that. Calm Cowell's ferocious pewtowns delivered in trademark charcoal sweeter and withering half-smile turned. Auditions into Clifers and water cooler events ratings soared past 13 million, and winner Will Young's debut single sold over 1 million copies in its first week, proving Cowell's thesis that viewer investment could translate directly into record-breaking sales behind the podium. He quietly negotiated a cut of publishing, merchandising, and international format rights, planting the financial seed that would blossom into a billion-dollar empire. He refined that formula for American Idol Fox 2000 to 200, partnering with 19 Entertainment, and for metal US audiences embraced his acid candor even more fervently, and the show dominated primetime Nielsen charts for 8 consecutive seasons. Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson, and Adam Lambert leapt from the televised stage onto global tours, each release reinforcing the Cow pipeline. Discover on TV, monetize on radio, amplify. On stadium tours, advertisers paid Super Bowl-level premiums. Phone vote technology exploded. Critics coined the term Cowell effect to describe overnight surges in retail traffic whenever he offered a rare compliment. Seeking to control every creative link, Cowell launched The X Factor in the UK 2004. Unlike Idol Mets now shaped contestants' song choices, styling, and narrative arcs, turning judges themselves into characters. Sharon Osbourne's flamboyance, Lewis Walsh's boy band pedigree, and Cowell's steely pragmatism sparked chemistry that kept tabloids stocked with headlines. The series' crown chart toppers like Leona Lewis, Alexandra Burke, and One Direction each delivering platinum certifications. Fat-fed Psycho Music, Cowell's joint venture with Sony. By 2010, the X Factor finale attracted nearly 20 million UK viewers, and the brand's stadiums sized. Live tours flooded arenas from Manchester to Melbourne. Cowell duplicated the property in 56 territories, building a lattice of licensing fees that dwarfed Standard A and R margins. He then co-created Britain's Got Talent 2007 and its US sibling, America's Got Talent 2006, fracturing the perception that talent shows must be music. C-centric here. Dog trainers, magicians, and comics stood shoulder to shoulder, with singers opening the franchise to familiar demographics and year-round scheduling. Susan Bull's jaw-dropping rendition of I Dreamed a Dream became the most watched YouTube clip of 2009, demonstrating Cowell's instinct for viral hooks long before TikTok Trends Got Talent now operates in over 70 countries and holds Guinness World Records as the most successful reality format ever. With global advertising spend and brand integrations cresting well above the billion mark across these ventures, Cowell cultivated signature beats, a slow pan to his raised eyebrow, melodic hum of anticipation before a verdict, and a narrative that positioned ordinary dreamers against impossible odds. He packaged suspense like a pop single setup tension hook release, and every season delivered fresh chart entries from Bleeding Love to Impossible Even. Failures fed the drama. A buzzer slammed mid-performance became meme-ready content, driving social chatter that extended the show's half-life far beyond broadcast. Parallel to TV, Psycho's roster thrived. Cowell signed DVO, repackaging classical crossover from mainstream ears. He backed Fifth Harmony, harnessing the girl group Void Left. Since the Spice Girls, he invested in CNCO and pretty much to court Latin and Gen Z audiences respectively. Each act benefited from synchronized launches across talent show finals. Vivo, premieres and in-house songwriting camps illustrating Cowell's vertically integrated blueprint. By the mid-2010s, his slate spanned The Greatest Dancer, Leander, and X Factor Celebrity each, an experiment in genre blending and media convergence. While critical reception varied, the business lesson remained constant. Control the IP, own the narrative. Treat contestants as co-creators in an ever-expanding pop multiverse. He foresaw audience fatigue and pivoted toward digital offshoots like Extra Factor Live on YouTube and the TikTok partnership Stem Drop, where unsigned songwriters upload hooks for global collaboration. An early foray into crowdsourcing hits in. The streaming era Cowell's calling card through all of it is his alchemy of spectacle and sincerity. Audiences tune in for the barbs, yet stay for the occasional disarming moment of generosity. A tearful standing ovation. A handwritten note to a backstage hopeful, which keeps the persona multidimensional and the ratings resilient. As of 2025, America's Got Talent remains NBC's summer tentpole. Britain's Got Talent continues to anchor ITV weekends and international. Spin-offs deliver license fees that funnel back into new ventures under Psycho Entertainment's streamlined post-2020 structure. Simon Cowell's public persona. Razor-edged confidence, unruffled Armenia grin that splits applause from dread once masked. A series of private health battles that forced him to redesign his lifestyle piece by piece. The first loud alarm rang in October 2017, when hurrying downstairs at 6 a.m. to make warm milk for his infant son, Eric Cowell, fainted from what doctors later described as hypertension triggered by low blood pressure. The tumble left him briefly hospitalized with a concussion and served notice that years of late-night editing sessions, transatlantic flights, nicotine cravings, and a caffeine-powered schedule had nudged his physiology to a breaking point. Determined to rewrite more than TV formats, he began a sweeping gauntlet of diet and routine, trading airport espressos and Marlboro for herbal teas and nicotine-free vapes, and hiring a sleep coach who decreed no screen time after midnight and edict the self-professed night owl. Initially met with rolling eyes, but gradually accepted when morning energy spikes became tangible, Reform turned radical in early 2019 following a comprehensive wellness screening that flagged soaring cholesterol, creeping prediabetes markers, and a sluggish thyroid. Under the guidance of nutritionist Jason Vale Cowell, embraced a large plant-based diet, oat milk smoothies at dawn, kale, packed quinoa bowls at lunch, and protein from legumes rather than late-night AK within 12 months. He reported losing nearly 40 libitos, surprising Britain's Got Talent viewers, whose annual consensus had been that his physique was as immutable as his sarcasm. Alongside weight loss came sharper mental clarity and a newfound passion for electric cycling, and activity he claimed merged cardio benefits with the childlike thrill of motion. Yet the epic hobby would soon prove double-edged. On the 8th of August 2020, while test riding a high-powered Swind Evo 1. In the courtyard of his Malibu home, Cowell gunned the throttle too aggressively. The bike reared. He lost control, and the crash shattered his back in 3 places. Surgeons implanted a metal rod. Nearly 7 in long rehabilitation meant months wearing a tailored brace that extended from sternum to hips. Daily hydrotherapy sessions and guided Pilateses. To rebuild core stability, production schedules pivoted. Judges' seats on America's Got Talent rotated to guests, while Cowell issued video messages from a recliner, witty as ever. Yet visibly humbled, recovery demanded complete abstention from pain-numbing alcohol, and he credits this period with cementing a permanent shift toward totalism, a lifestyle he once thought incompatible with the entertainment circuit's champagne world. Just when momentum returned, February 2022 delivered a brutal sequel cycling near his West London residence. Cowell slipped on wet pavement, flying over the handlebars and fracturing his arm, dislocating his wrist and lacerating his cheek. Cameras captured him exiting hospital with a bright yellow cast, and Stitch's tabloids speculated about resilience. But he treated the incident as data rather than omen. Engineers were summoned to recalibrate his bike's torque. Stunt coaches drilled him on balance, and braking physical therapists doubled core strength drills. In interviews, he explained that risk properly measured and mitigated still fueled creativity, yet insisted viewers learned from his missteps by wearing helmets and mastering low-houred models before graduating to racing specs. Cosmetic interventions also intersected his health narrative. A long time user of Botox and dermal fillers. Cowell confessed in 2022 that constant on-camera playback had made him realize I'd gone too far. He quietly dialed down injectables, leaned into laser resurfacing for skin health and championed a less filtered approach on social media, allowing laugh lines to re-emerge as evidence of survival rather than decay mentally. He credits mindfulness apps and a daily 6 a.m. dog walk with Eric and fiancée Lauren Silverman for anchoring him against industry turbulence seasoned. Colleagues observe a softer undertone in Judge Critique's firm, but Leko Stikiksing, his medical odyssey, instilled empathy without dulling discernment. As of mid-2025, regular MRI scans show full vertebral fusion. Annual executive physicals place cardiac and metabolic vitals in optimal ranges, and biometric wearables log 10,000 steps before noon. On filming days, Cowell now frames health as the non-negotiable first item on any production budget, insisting on ergonomic backstage layouts, mandatory. Wellness breaks for staff and mental health counselors embedded in contestant holding areas. The man once, fueled by urgency, now markets sustainability as she's ultimate project. A long-gunning series where longevity, not ratings, is the defining metric of success. The headlines immortalize Simon Cowell as an arbiter of fame. Yet beneath the pinstripe veneer lies a ledger of personal absences that reshaped his priorities more than any chart coup. Loss for him is not a single dramatic blow, but a series of quiet subtractions. People, projects, even pets. Each one chiseling away assumptions about permanence he has called grief. The uncredited producer forever altering the tempo of his days. And the narrative of his empire cannot be read without tracing the gaps left by those who once stood at his side. His first seismic absence arrived in 1999 with the death of his father, Eric, the man who had sneaked him into Amy's mailroom and taught him to hear possibility. In every demo tape, Eric's passing after a brief illness came just as Cowell was brokering early talent show concepts. The timing etched a permanent line between the brash hustler who sought paternal approval and the executive suddenly tasked with becoming his own compass friends. Recall him shelving new contracts for weeks, pacing his flat to old Sinatra records his father adored, writing letters. He never sent. The eventual return to work came with a sharpened resolve to anchor every deal. In genuine artist development, a tribute to the mentor whose counsel was now internalized 16 years later. Tragedy revisited when his mother Julie, former dancer family matriarch and perennial front row supporter, died at age 89. Britain's Got Talent auditions scheduled for that week were quietly postponed, and the production crew watched a rare cycle voice cracking, delivering a studio floor eulogy about discipline learned from ballet bars and Sunday roasts. The loss recalibrated his relationship with work-life balance. He initiated a standing rule that filming halt by 9 p.m. to allow dinner with son Eric, honoring the bedtime rituals his mother once championed. The hollow left by her absence, this birthed new rituals meant to prevent future regrets. Public grief resurfaced in February 2020 when television presenter and close confidant Caroline Flack died, suddenly stunning the entertainment community. Cowell, who had hired her for the X Factor spin-offs, issued a statement stripped of trademark sarcasm and spent the season advocating backstage counseling for every contestant, a protocol now embedded across the Got Talent franchise. The initiative underscored that the glare of limelight, if unmanaged, can eclipse fragile mental well-being, and it marked a philosophical pivot from mere ratings toward participant after their professional losses, cut differently, yet still sting. The cancellation of the Exit Tour UK in 2021 closed the curtain on a show he once dubbed My Baby Axing. The series meant laying off longtime crew who felt like extended family. Cowell personally funded transition grants and invited displaced editors to join digital ventures under Psycho's rebooted umbrella, admitting that the show's end felt like a family home sold off. Piece by piece, the setback also unlocked bandwidth for new projects such as Stem Drop, signaling his knack for converting endings into prototypes rather than Tombstone Shirk to trace its arc. His relationship with television host Terry Seymour dissolved in 2008 after 6 years, and a high-profile engagement to makeup artist Maine Husseini quietly fizzled by 2012, though tabloids fed on rumors. Insiders note those splits nudged Cowell toward therapy, diary writing, and the eventual grounding. Found with fiancée Lauren Silverman from the ashes of public breakups, emerged a more measured approach to privacy, and partnership contracts may welcome cameras, but his household no longer does. Even his beloved four-legged companions have written chapters of farewell Yorkshire Terrier Daisy, once a fixture on Studio. Leather chairs passed away in 2019. The loss propelled Cowell to finance veterinary clinics, specializing in canine rehabilitation, tying personal sorrow to public service each goodbye. Whether human or animal, widens his philanthropic aperture from children's hospices to mental health charities. He funnels grief into structures designed to spare others equivalent pain. Resilient, leaner, and strategically selective Simon Cowell, in 2025 stands at intersection of legacy and reinvention. His mornings begin at 5:30 a.m. in the glass wall gym of his Malibu home overlooking the Pacific, while biometric sensors sync with a custom wellness dashboard created by Apple Health engineers. He quietly bankrolls after 40 minutes of low-impact cycling, never again at top. Torquay joins fiancée Lauren Silverman and son Eric for breakfast, chia seed parfait avocado toast, and the day's first laughter. Fatherhood is no longer a subplot, but the spine of his schedule, any shoot that breaks past Eric's 8 p.m. bedtimes, a firm reschedule from Cowell's assistant, yet discipline has amplified net diluted ambition by 9 a.m. Private jet often lifts off for Los Angeles or London, each cabin refitted as a mobile edit suite, streaming 8 synchronized camera feeds from current productions. Cowell reviews, cuts with a finger on the touchscreen timeline, trims dead air to fractions of seconds, then dozes for 20 minutes. A skill he learned from military survival courses is to land refreshed for back-to-back strategy meetings. Psycho Entertainment in late 2020 now resembles a tech startup. More than a heritage label, a slim core team directs a constellation of joint ventures. Stemrop, a TikTok integrated songwriting platform that turns hooks uploaded by Max Martin or Diane Warren into global collaboration challenges, has crossed for billion #views and generated 3 Spotify top 20 singles without traditional radio campaigns. Got Talent VR launched in April 2025 with Meletes. Users audition in virtual arenas judged by motion-captured avatars of CAO Sofia Gara and Bruno Tony Uli. Early adoption metrics reveal teenagers in Indonesia and Brazil logging in at 3 a.m. local time to sing for 60 seconds in front of a roaring digital Wembley at Dietrich Sandbox that feeds Cowell's next format experiments. Meanwhile, America's Got Talent Season 20 remains NBC's highest-rated summer property, with Cow leveraging Peacock exclusives, directors, cut episodes, masterclasses to drive streaming subscriptions and satisfy advertisers hungry for dual platform. Reach Philanthropy occupies a block in every quarterly OKR spreadsheet following his mother's emphasis on arts education. Cowell co-founded the Julie Brett Foundation, pledging $10 million over 5 years to fund music tech labs in state schools across the UK's most underserved districts. The initiative supplies AI-powered composition software and industry mentors, including alumni from The X Factor and BGT, aiming to democratize access to hit-making tools stateside. He partners with Los Angeles Animal Services to underwrite rehabilitation for senior dogs, otherwise deemed unadoptable, a tribute to his late terrier Daisy. In April 2025, he announced AGT's first carbon-neutral finale, powered by on-site solar. Raise an audience, offset ticketing, positioning sustainability as a broadcast asset rather than a backstage footnote. Creatively, Cowell is shepherding to marquee projects global star streaming.